Hello, everyone. I'm Jerry Punch, and welcome to Bristol, Tennessee. Of course, what a great night for Busch Grand National Series racing action. We told you the series is getting tighter and tighter, but one thing is changing a little bit. We've had a change atop the point standings the last couple of weeks. Hey, but it didn't happen last week in Michigan because Chad Little, who had been trying to win a championship, had problems up there. As you look at our point standings and take a look at the top five, Chad Little falling back somewhat now behind Johnny Benson, Mike McLaughlin, Jason Keller, and Jeff Green in the top five, 6 through 10. Larry Pearson, Tim Fedewa, Elton Sawyer, Bobby Dotter, and Phil Parsons. Once again, we're glad to have you here. What we call Thunder Valley. It's a great night for racing. 2 nights in a row. Busch Grand National Series action tonight and Winston Cup racing action coming your way tomorrow night, the 35th annual Goodies 500. Now, we know that coming to Bristol, you got to have certain things to be successful here on the high banks, and one of them is patience. You got to be very patient. You can't push the issue here on the high banks or they'll bite you. The concrete hits pretty hard. Got to be patient if you want to win or have a shot at a championship.
Jerry, you're exactly right, and I'm with a driver, a young driver on the Busch Series who really illustrates patience. Of course, I'm talking about the points leader, Johnny Benson Jr. This is only his 4th trip here to the high banks of Bristol, but in 3 previous visits, already 2 top 10 finishes, including 6 back in April. Johnny, as fast as things happen here, how in the world can you be patient?
I'll tell you what, it's pretty tough here at Bristol International, but we're just going to do what we can. We'll just do what the guys in front of us will do, go as fast as we can for as long as we can.
They have to be patiently aggressive, Jerry.
And last year's Rookie of the Year, Johnny Benson, is certainly building experience here at Bristol, Tennessee. Experience. Well, you got to not only when to pass, but how to pass. And in a 250-lap sprint race, it's critical to know when to pit.
And it worked for Larry Pearson in back-to-back years, 87 and 88, a first-place finish. Larry, you have a young crew chief. Your experience very valuable here tonight. How do you get to the front?
Well, starting back here in 19th, we're going to need a very strong front bumper, to be honest with you. But no, Bristol's a place where you really have to take your time, and you have to be aggressive to get around the place. But you really don't want to be over-aggressive because you can get yourself in trouble real quick.
Well, now Larry Pearson, he looks pretty fresh, but there's a handful of drivers that may have problems. The fatigue factor could become a certain possibility tonight because these drivers came early today and have been practicing both Winston Cup and Busch Grand National Series cars, and they have yet to take a beating here as 250 laps are straight ahead.
Well, I'm here with Mike Wallace. He got to the racetrack this morning at 8:30. He's been running a Busch car, his Duran Paints car. He's run his Winston Cup car, his Heilig Myers car. He's practiced both of them. He's been back from the back stretch to the front stretch, back stretch to the front stretch. He's qualified both cars, and now you got to run a 250-lap race. Is fatigue going to be a factor for you today?
Well, Kyle, I hope not. You know, these guys pay me to be tough, so we work out a little bit during the week, and it's been a tough day. You know, they haven't had any breaks in between either practice. You go straight out of the Cup car to the Busch car, but I think we'll be fine this evening. You know, it should be a little cooler. Got a helmet cooler in here tonight to help us out a little bit, and we're looking to win this thing this evening.
Well, I tell you what, guys, I've watched him go back and forth from the front stretch to the back stretch enough. 250 laps, I'm fatigued just watching him.
Hey, folks, if you've never watched a race at Bristol, tonight you're going to see beating and banging. They've talked about that already. We're going to see cars crashing into one. We're going to see crashes, caution flags, great driving, sorry driving. And why, Ned?
Well, because they go so fast on this racetrack that they don't have time to react. If something happens in front of them, bang, you're right into it before you know it. But one thing about it, there's always plenty of action here at Bristol.
And as the field gets set to start, 36 strong. Now, before we start the beating and banging, we got a little question to ask here. Now, Mike Mooney, the PR director for this French's team, is sitting back in his apartment in Charlotte, North Carolina, with Krista. And Krista, he has a question to ask you. Krista, will you marry me? Well, not marry me. Actually, will you marry Mike Mooney? And we're going to call you in a moment and see what your answer is. We want to show that now because of the beating and banging starts. That bumper may not be there. Back at the high banks of Bristol in a moment.
Hey, I'm not home. Just leave a message.
Tommy, the hot tub's getting cold. Where are you?
Yo, Tom, we're shooting pool. You coming or what?
Thomas, your birthday dinner's in the oven. Everyone's waiting. Tommy, if you're there, pick up. Tommy?
You want to know how to choose a motor oil? Take a ride to your local garage and see what the mechanic puts into his own car. Fact is, of all the brands of motor oil, more ASC certified master technicians choose Valvoline for use in their own cars and trucks. So before you buy a motor oil for your car, know the one more top mechanics put into theirs. Valvoline, the #1 choice of America's top mechanics.
Can a credit card make you unique? Actually, it just might. You see, your MasterCard is meant for you and you alone. Even if someone steals it, you don't have to worry about a thing. Just call right away and cancel it. So even if someone does manage to charge something to you, you won't pay a cent. We may even be able to get you a new card the next day, which ought to give you some peace of mind. And that's certainly a unique feeling. MasterCard. It's more than a credit card. It's smart money.
When it comes to roping a steer, folks in Grand Junction, Colorado will tell you that Ron Markin can ride with the best of them. And when it comes to overhauling an engine or rebuilding a carburetor, well, he can do it all. You see, when Ron's not riding a horse for fun, he's turning a wrench for a living. So he buys a lot of parts, mostly from AutoZone. Sure, there are other parts stores in town, but Ron knows that when you want the right part for the right price, there's just no place better than AutoZone.
Our Speed Road coverage of the Food City 250 is being brought to you by Suzuki. Your Suzuki motorcycle and ATV dealer has the ride you've been waiting for and the financing to get it. By Valvoline, the #1 choice of America's top mechanics. And by the NASCAR Story. To order, call 800-71-NASCAR. Let's take a look at our Suzuki starting grids. 36 strong, and the first pole ever for this youngster, 27 years of age, Stevie Reeves, 122.56 miles per hour, the Ed Whitaker Chevrolet. He will lead the charge.
And you know, Jerry, I think that Stevie Reeves running the midgets and sprint cars up in Indiana, at Winchester and Salem, Indiana, racetracks that are banked similar to Bristol. That might be one reason he's on the pole tonight.
16 different pole winner thus far in 20 events here in 1995. You see some of the drivers starting back toward the back of the pack, but we told you early, experience is key. Hey, Steve Grissom starts back in 28. He started 17th here in April and won the Busch Series event.
And here's 31 through 36. Dennis Setzer in the 18 car, the UniFirst car. That's his first ride in that automobile.
And good to see Robbie Reiser back. His first start since Talladega, that wild crash head on into the wall there after having a good run in the top 10 in the late laps. Had a broken kneecap and a severe concussion. Ned, the track description here, Bristol International Raceway.
Well, it's a .533 mile oval, front stretch 650 feet, same as the back stretch, and the banking in the corners is 36 degrees and 16 degrees on the straightaway.
Race analysis here. We told you 250 laps of pole speed, 122.5, race record 92.929 miles per hour, pit window 130 to 140 laps. That's because the tires may go away, and the purse, a good one here for Larry Carrier and company, $258,431. Got a couple of in-cars, Benny Parsons.
There's Jimmy Spencer, the Phenolube Ford, as he looks at the Food City car direct in front of him.
There's Jimmy, and he starts back in 16th spot. And the Food City Chevy. That's the Teresa Earnhardt-owned Food City car, the Goodrich Chevrolet of Jeff Green, and carrying that Food City roof camera. Tonight's field net, 36 cars.
12 Fords, 3 Pontiacs, and 21 Chevrolets.
And some of the cars that came here and failed to qualify. 41 cars came. These didn't make it. Purvis, Silva, Andy Belmont, Mark Day driving for brother Wayne Day, and Joey McCarthy from Flemington, New Jersey, the NASCAR modified driver.
And the signal from NASCAR starter, 1 lap to go, and all these cars will go charging down in turn 1, fighting, beating, and banging for positions.
Take a look at the manufacturers' battle, the wins, poles, and points. You see Ford, 10 wins, 6 poles. Currently lead the point standing. Chevy with 9 wins and 10 poles, and Pontiac no wins yet and 2 poles. It's basically a 2-car battle, Ford and Chevy, at the Manufacturers Championship.
We're about ready to go racing, and folks, it's about to get exciting.
Glad to have you here at Thunder Valley. John Kernan, Bill Weber, Benny Parsons, Ned Jarrett, and here's truly Jerry Punch. We're going to be back here tomorrow with exciting racing action, live action. The Goodies, 500, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Glad to have you with us at Bristol International Raceway. And the green flag is waving. Mr. They called him Mr. Excitement back when he was in open wheel modified competition, and he's moving in on Larry Pearson. Not afraid at all to mix it up early.
Yeah, he's on that inside groove. Of course, that's where you want to be on this racetrack, especially in the early going. As we see Buckshot Jones on the outside in car 00, and that is Bobby Donner passing him, and Buckshot caught up on the outside.
Stevie Reeves still leading the race. That's he in the 7 car. The 44, Dave Green is second, and Johnny Benson is third. That's Benson in the red and yellow number 74, followed by Chad Little in the red and yellow 23.
That's the front two in points, Benson and Little, who are running third and fourth. They are first and second, as you saw in the point standings. That's the battle right there, and Chad Little trying to break that miserable streak of a couple of races where he just hasn't had any luck at all. Indianapolis Raceway Park and Michigan.
One driver already having to make a pit stop on the back stretch. I think it was the car number 35 of Doug Hebron. David Green challenges. He wanted to look on the inside of Reed, but there was not room. Here comes Green down on the inside. No, he couldn't quite do it.
These the first laps that Stevie Reeves has led all year here in 1995. Now driving for Ed Whitaker, who shops is not far from this racetrack. That's the same car that Harry Gant used to sit on the pole here last August. Now Gant had engine trouble and didn't make it to the halfway mark.
There we see Mike Wallace in the Duron paint car, number 90, and the 64 car, Randy LaJoy, the Duraloop car. This is a battle for 8th spot. And it looks like LaJoy is going to look on the inside, can't make the pass.
And we mentioned that Doug Hebron had gone to the pits on the backstretch. Apparently something had gone wrong with the engine.
Watching LaJoy in the 64 car. Now, he's had a couple of pretty good runs. Finished 15th at IRP. Had a great run in Michigan. Finished third, driving for Dennis Shoemaker. And we are told that those runs have convinced his sponsor, Duraloop, to come back for 1996. So they were real excited about the prospects of next year. Dennis Shoemaker and company.
We'll show you just how far that these fellows are behind the leader. There's the leader, Stevie Reeves, the Clabber Girl baking powder car. And now the 44 car, Davey Green, seems to have his hands full with Benson in 74.
Yeah, he's been having to drive offensively and defensively there. He's trying to get around Stevie Reeves, but at the same time, he has to keep his eye on the rearview mirror because Johnny Benson is right there and he makes a mistake.
Well, you got to wonder, we talked about patience, but here's the 44 car trying to be patient, but someone who isn't waiting at all is Randy LaJoy.
He worked and finally got on the inside of Mike Wallace going into turn 3 and made the pass.
And that's Tim Fiedel that's pulled up right on the back bumper of Mike Wallace. Just as soon as he gets rid of one guy, he's got another one on his back bumper.
Yeah, and you can see that LaJoy pulled away by a couple of car lengths after he got around Mike Wallace. But Stevie Reeves is not able to pull away by any car lengths.
Stevie Reeves, National USAC Midget Champion, 1992 and 93.
Now we see that Chad Little's dropped back a little bit, and Kenny Wallace in the Red Dog car is closed up on his back bumper.
Kenny Wallace won this race last August, broke a 2.5-year winless streak. Coming from 7th starting spot to win the Food City 250, once again takes a peek inside of Chad Little.
There's Joe Bessie in the 9 car, and that's Buckshot Jones in 00, and the 34 car of Mike McLaughlin. A little bit of contact, and Mike almost brushed the wall there.
Buckshot giving him a little nudge from behind. That's Joe Bessie. By the way, you did see Joe Bessie win. I've been watching him win at Busch Grand National North competition just a few weeks ago on ESPN.
26th and 27th that they're battling for.
Battle you were watching a moment ago, Benny Parsons, is Kenny Wallace in the 8 car, but now he's getting a little heat from behind.
Jason Keller in 57 of Budget Gourmet, and there's the in-car camera from the Food City Chevrolet on Jeff Green. And wow, what a mess going in turn 3.
Yeah, we almost had a race. Chad Little is holding up Kenny Wallace because the front 3 cars, just a few laps ago, they were 6 or 7 cars running together, but now the front 3 cars have driven away from Chad Little. To understand that maybe he's complaining about the car being a little bit loose.
Remember, these cars qualified earlier today, and it was quite a bit warmer. The racetrack has since had Winston Cup qualifying. And so a lot of laps on this racetrack since these cars have been out. Back up front, challenge for second spot. Can't do it, BP.
Man, I can't believe Benson even tried that this early in the race.
On the outside. Isn't he the one we talked about being patient?
Yeah, right. Trying to win a championship. Yeah. Johnny Benson.
Wow, who did we talk to down there? Must be a different guy in that 74 car.
Put the helmet on and he becomes Dr. Jekyll. He is our point leader. Watch this. Hey, she said yes down in Charlotte. He asked her to marry her, and he said yes. Congratulations to the folks down in Charlotte and the McLaughlin team. Back in a moment.
Now at Pep Boys, get any 4 of our 35,000-mile all-season steel-belted tires at an incredible low $109. That's right, any 75 or 80 series, any 4, just $109 at Pep Boys now.
What a sandwich!
Taco Bell introduces the Texas Taco Sandwich, starting at 99 cents. It's a taste so big, it ought to be outlawed.
Yummy. I don't want a roof. I don't want a windshield. I don't want a vanity mirror. I don't want a cup holder. I don't want a shortcut. The Suzuki Intruder.
Welcome back to school. Hope you had a nice summer. Here's what you need to know this fall. ESPN's majoring in college football. Your weekend starts on Thursday with a weekend kickoff show sponsored by Russell Athletic and Thursday night primetime. On Saturday, College Game Day gets it going, followed by action from the Big Ten and CFA primetime. And for the latest gridiron news, check out ESPN Net Sports Zone. College football on ESPN. More football than you'll ever need in the real world. Season kicks off August 31st.
Back at Bristol International Raceway, still in the early laps, and our pole sitter continues to lead, but maybe not for long. We have had a change of position for second spot.
And then Johnny Benson was able to pull that pass off on the outside. Now he's trying to do this on the inside.
Well, he had to have a lot of confidence, first of all, in David Green to go up on the outside of him and make a pass.
And another battle that happened a moment ago while we were in break. Take a look at this. Kenny Wallace says, hi there, Harris Teeter's Ford Thunderbird of Chad Little. Chad's been having a problem with a loose race car, and it didn't help it much.
And here we see they get together just a little bit going down in one, and Chad goes up the racetrack and lost about 4 spots in that deal. And watch as they come off the corner. And those rough tires between the 57 and 23.
Part of what you said up front's coming true there. The beating in the banging part, Benny.
And we are told that Chad may have a tire going down. That certainly didn't help it a lot right there.
That certainly doesn't help the situation.
Stevie Reeves driving the Clamor Girl machine and Whitaker on race car. On the pole is led since the drop of the green flag.
And we see Chad Little back behind. No, that's the 64 car of LaJoy. I'm sorry. I thought that was...
Here's our field summer. Take a look at where your favorite drivers are. Once again, in parentheses, where that car started. So Kenny Wallace started back in 7th. One of the cars that have made a move. Car number 25, the Mick Johnson Chevy, slowing down. Johnny Rumley, Don Beverly-owned car.
The 40 car is Patty Moise. And we see there's Johnny Rumley down on the apron of the racetrack, so obviously has some type of problem he considers terminal as he's going towards the pits. There's our leader going by Patty Moise. Stevie Reeves in the 7, 74. Benson, that's a Lipton T car. And David Green.
Whoa, trouble in turn 2. Jeff Fuller has spun and is headed backward toward oncoming traffic in the Sunoco 260 Chevy. Leading Rookie of the Year contender Fuller, 1992 NASCAR Modified National Champion. He's accustomed to these short full rings and did a masterful job of keeping that car from backing up into the wall as he locked it down and slid sideways up there.
I don't think they have many racetracks like this up north. Yes, he's a lot of experience on short tracks, but this Bristol is a different animal. It's 36 degrees.
Let's take a look, see what happened to Fuller.
Coming off the corner, and it looks like the back end just went away.
and he's coming right at you. And, whoa, nice camera work.
Yeah, and he was very fortunate not to hit the wall.
Now let's take a look from the in-car camera, the Fina racing car.
Well, it might have had a little bit of tap there from the back end.
It's hard to say if there was any contact between, there was see Chad Little in there, in the pits, and they're looking at the left rear tire. Now, they can only change how many tires?
They get 2 sets of tires under caution for the whole race. So, and that's if you slide one or you flat spot a tire, even cut one, that's all you get. So 8 total tires. And Bill Weber, what happened down there?
Well, as you can probably see, Jimmy Spencer got into the rear of Jeff Fuller. He called his crew right away, said, tell him I'm sorry, tell his spotter I didn't mean to do it, I sure am sorry. So Jimmy Spencer apologizing for helping bring out the first caution. He's got a good run going back here, too.
And so now the mystery is solved. Jimmy Spencer gave Jeff Fuller a bit of a tap, and you saw what happened. Under caution for the first time at Bristol International Raceway. We'll be back.
It's our 20th year anniversary celebration only at Harbison Swanston RV. Harbison Swanston RV, Central Florida's #1 RV dealer in motorhomes, fifth wheels, travel trailers, sales, parts, and service. Save thousands now on all 95 models like Winnebago, Coachman, and Fleetwood. We have the largest selection. 2 locations, Holiday, Clearwater, Florida on US 19. We'll see you at Harbison Swanston RV. Customer satisfaction guaranteed.
No, we don't sell tents during our tent sale.
Announcing Sarasota Nissan Jeep Eagle's annual automotive tent sale.
We have acres of new and used cars and trucks at sacrifice prices.
0 down, instant financing.
New 95 Sentras loaded from $12,222. New 95 Ultimas loaded for $14,499. New 95 Maximas loaded only $18,999.
New 95 Nissan pickups loaded from $10,449.
Even Jeeps and Eagles are on sale. Shop the automotive tent sale on Bee Ridge Road, Sarasota Nissan Jeep Eagle, 923-1411. Back at Bristol International Raceway under caution for the first time today due to a spin by Jeff Fuller with an assist from Jimmy Spencer. But under the caution, here is the car 23 just barely getting back out after a pit stop. In fact, he made 2 pit stops and just got out before he lost a lap as the green waves once again. And Stevie Reeves trying to improve on a best finish of 6th at Richmond. His only top 10 here in 1995, but he is showing the way here at Bristol.
And here is
Jason
car
Keller
57.
And the 8 car, something is wrong with Kenny Wallace. He's not the speed, can't get it up to speed.
Jason Keller in 57 that went around him on the restart. Now Kenny seems to be going again. In fact, he's going to try to pull back on the inside of 64 car. Ooh, and they get together and he just drives right on by when he slides up the track. That's one way to do it, I guess.
And LaJoie did a tremendous job of hanging on that car in the corner. Lost a couple of spots. Terry Lamont.
Oh, that time some contact and in the wall.
Now some more cars pile in it. Oh my goodness, the track is nearly completely blocked. Ed Barrier in the Caterpillar car, he's involved. Brad Teague, Jim Bound.
Robbie Reiser.
Curtis Markham is down there.
Wow, heavy. Look at the damage to that Ed Barrier's Caterpillar car.
Absolutely had nowhere to go driving for Buzz McCall, but Randy LaJoie gets tapped at both ends of the racetrack, looks like, and this is the result. Here's a look at it.
Yeah, we see some contact between Spencer and LaJoie, and LaJoie goes up, smacks the wall, and as he comes down, watch these other cars become involved.
Like we say, you run so fast here, you don't have time to react, and then the track just closes up in front of you.
That was Rodney Combs in the green car. That's a strange color to you fans, you Busch Grand National fans, but the green 43 was Rodney Combs that met Ed Barrier nose to nose.
And Johnny Rumley was one of the first cars to go out. As you see, Ed Barrier climb out of his car okay. I think Johnny is standing by with Kyle Petty.
Well, Johnny, you started pretty back in the pack a little bit, but you were making some progress, but it's been a short night so far to a long day.
Yeah, it really has. Big Johnson Chevrolet dropped the valve, and that's very unusual for a Holmes and Eames motor, but had a good run following a 14-car Terry, and he's as good as anybody to follow around here, and that's what we was looking for. You know, trying to get a little experience. The guys worked real hard, qualified 13th, probably had a top 10, top 5 car, who knows, and biggest thing, I was starting to have a little bit of fun, so Right now, we got a gorilla on our back. Hopefully, we'll get him off, and when we do, we're going to run good. I hope to run up front, maybe win a race 40 years over, like say hi to Carol and the kids. We'll be home shortly.
Well, I tell you what, Johnny Rumley's tough wherever he goes. One thing, they might have broke a motor, but they didn't get in that big wreck, and they got a car to go to the next race. A lot of people can't say that, guys.
Got to feel lucky when you walk away from Bristol with a complete race car. Now, here again is what happened to start this thing. You see Rocket Rodney Combs coming down the 43 car. It's a snapper colors. Now, take a look again at what happened.
This is from behind. This is the 8 car of Kenny Walsh, the Red Dog car, and LaJoy as they go in turn 3. There's that contact between Wallace and LaJoy. Now, LaJoy saved it that time. He goes up the hill, and he's going to lose 3 or 4 spots.
And that was the first punt. Now, here's the second one.
He and Jimmy Spencer get together down in turn 1, and as he comes off the wall, now the cars start trying to dodge him. There we see Hermie Sadler, and there the 43. He gets hit by the 95, and also the 95 hit the back of the 64 as Elton Sawyer goes through there, and there's the end of it.
Well, that's what's left of the Caterpillar Chevrolet. And here's a little different angle from above.
Ooh, wow. 08 car, Bobby Daughter ran right in the back of Rodney Combs, and that's what turned him around, and I'm sure there's some heavy damage to the front of Bobby Daughter's car.
And the cars that were involved in the crash, we'll run them down for you once again. Ed Barrier, heavy damage in his car. Randy LaJoy, you're right along now with.
That was earlier when Spencer got into the 47 car of Jeff Fuller.
And that's the previous one. So Jimmy Spencer may wear that radio button out as he's already called and apologized for the contact with Jeff Fuller. Barrier, LaJoy, Markham, Combs, and Bound, the cars that we have listed as being the most heavily damaged 5 vehicles in the second caution flag of the night.
Yeah, there were about 6 or 8 other cars that were involved, but just with a little bang-up.
Let's go down to Bill Weber.
And I'm here with Ed Barrier, obviously disappointed. What happened, Ed?
Hey, I had Randy LaJoy. He'd spun up here and coming off through there, and I seen it. You know, tried to get slowed down, and somebody behind me didn't slow down none, and, you know, I had brakes locked up and everything else. They pushed me right into it, and wasn't nothing I could do, you know. I hate it for Caterpillar and Champion and, you know, all the folks, guys that worked on the car. The car was coming around, you know, would have been all right later on.
It's been a typical Bristol so far, though. A lot of wild action. You had to expect that coming in.
Yeah, you know, the cars are so competitive, it's hard to pass here, and sometimes some guys take a chance, you know, a little bit early in the race to be doing that, but it's a competitive race. It ought to be exciting tonight.
And 46 of 250 laps are complete. Good crowd on hand, enjoying a lot of thunder here at Thunder Valley in the early laps. 2 caution flags. Hey, in the first 50 laps, but Stevie Reeves hangs on up front. Back in a moment.
Smaller electrodes, more power. More electrodes, faster start.
Suddenly, everybody has a new spark plug idea promising instant higher performance. But one new plug's idea is higher performance that lasts. Introducing Autolite Double Platinum. Platinum on both sides of the gap for faster starts and more power every time. Platinum to platinum firing for guaranteed peak performance, long after other ideas have peaked out. Autolite Platinum and now Autolite Double Platinum. More precious metal for your precious metal.
You want to know how to choose a motor oil? Take a ride to your local garage and see what the mechanic puts into his own car. Fact is, of all the brands of motor oil, more ASE certified master technicians choose Valvoline for use in their own cars and trucks. So before you buy a motor oil for your car, know the one more top mechanics put into theirs. Valvoline, the #1 choice of America's top mechanics.
But Monica, I love you.
Romance on the rocks, Brad?
Chuck Woolery?
Why don't you tell us what happened?
Nothing. I dialed 0 to call her collect.
And what should you have done?
Dialed 1-800-COLLECT and saved us some cash.
Would have been my move. Want to try again?
1-800-COLLECT. Yo, Chuck, do you mind?
Back back at Bristol just in time for the green flag here. Restart lap 50 of 250, and Stevie Reeves just takes the clapper and beginning to pull away with Johnny Benson about a car length back. And what a gaggle back behind him, third, fourth, fifth.
Boy, Kenny Wallace has been awfully close to several wrecks here.
I tell you what, he ricocheted off Jeff Fuller, didn't he, in that Sunoco car?
He really did. Boy, you hit it right on the nail, Benny, up at the top of the show when you said beating and banging. We've seen it, and we'll see more of it.
Jeff Fuller, the 47 car. The 90 is Mike Wallace. The 14 car, the MW Windows machine, is Terry Bonnie. Here's a battle, the 99 and 23.
Parsons and Chad Little, of course.
And what about the situation on Chad Little? He made a couple of pit stops. What do they do, John?
Well, Jerry, at first they didn't think anything was wrong with the tires, but they went ahead the second time there and changed all four tires. Gary Cogswell, Chad's crew chief, tells me that they did discover the right rear tire was going flat. So they were able to change the four tires, get that problem fixed. Gary says the car should be okay from here on out.
Well, it's a good thing they decided to change the tires, because in just a few laps on the green, he would have soon discovered that the right rear tire was indeed flat.
And he has come from the back of the pack now up into the top 15. He is shown in 15th position, still on the lead lap.
Johnny Benson really working on the car number 7 here right now.
Johnny Benson has 3 starts here at Bristol International Raceway. His best finish was 6th this past April. And we talked about patience, guys.
Well, right now, where he really needs to be patient. He really needs to be patient, because they were just a few laps into the race. 195 laps to go. Sure, he wants to lead. Don't take a chance.
How about it, John Curtis?
I tell you, he's having a hold in the bridle, in the bit, and I'm talking about the crew chief for Johnny Benson, Steve Bird. Got to talk to him to that last caution. He says, Johnny says the 7 car of Stevie Reeves is holding him up. And Bird is saying, just be patient as Johnny takes a look as they go into turn 1, but tucks back in the line this time by. He said, be patient, your time will come. But Benson feels he's got the fastest car out there on the track. He's just being held up.
Yeah, I agree, John. I think he does have a faster car. If he could get by, he probably would drive away.
Remember Indianapolis Raceway Park, guys, he had maybe one of the quickest cars there. It led about 2/3 of the race and got a little bit over-aggressive and looped it over in turn 2. It cost him a shot at the win.
And we see that David Green and the Bristol car is closing back up on these guys. They had pulled away about 15, 20 car lengths, but now he's just 3 or 4 car lengths behind. I'm sure that Stevie Reeves is playing a little bit defensive right now. He's probably not running as fast as the car will run, because he's trying to keep this. Oh, he gets loose off that corner and might give Benson the run he needs. Here he goes.
Benson made the move. You called it, BP. Hamilton loose, and that was the opening Johnny Benson morning. Now here's David Green, as Benson just pulls away by 3 car lengths in less than half a lap.
Turn 4, had to back out of the throttle just a little bit to catch the back. When he did that, that gave Benson the opportunity he'd been waiting for.
Battle back here. Here's Jeff Green, the car number 3.
7. Spencer is running in 4th place. He's a little ways up ahead of these cars.
Jason Keller, winner of Indianapolis Raceway Park, his first win, and he gets the challenge from Green.
And they're side by side going down in turn 1, I guess. Yes.
And here's Rick Wilson, former winner here, is smoke puffing from that all-sport Ford Thunderbird, the Charlie Henderson-owned car. Mark Carrier and crew will go look under that car. Chris Carrier, we should say, the crew chief there, raises the hood.
And then we can see how far Benson has driven away from Stevie Reeves in these 5 or 6 laps.
Had a feeling that's what would happen if he ever got in front of him, because as John Kern pointed out, he had a faster car. Here comes Kenny Wallace. Boy, he's looking all over the place trying to get around.
That's the Food City bumper cam for Jeff Green, the Teresa Earnhardt-owned car. Over at Chevy.
Talked to Don Hogg down in the pits just a few minutes ago, the president of Dale Earnhardt Incorporated, and he's saying that Earnhardt might field the Winston Cup car next year for Jeff Green and Ron Hornaday to run, 2 or 3 races each. Teresa and Dale would have a Winston Cup car. That'd be interesting, wouldn't it?
That'd be something.
Earnhardt racing against his own car.
Kenny Wallace is working that steering wheel.
Yeah, I think this is another case where Kenny has a faster car than Jeff has right now, but he just can't find a way to get around it. He's working on it, though.
Well, he is working on it.
That red dog is sniffing out every area there.
He smells food at Food City up there in front of him with Jeff Green.
We see the damage to Rodney Combs' car. The front of his car is completely gone after the crash.
Leaders getting into heavy traffic, 180 laps to go. As now Wallace will look to the inside. No, a little bit of a bump.
Oh, a little bit of a bump.
And behind him, Larry Pearson tries to miss him, gets a little bit of a bump. As the caution will come out for the third time, Pearson slides. Patty Moise gives Pearson a tag. And here is Bill Parsons now trying to go by, but you see you're running along with Jeff Green. And he will save losing a lap. But they will bring out the caution flag for the third time tonight.
Yeah, just a little bit of a touch from the 8 car, Kenny Wallace.
Lap 72, caution comes out. Here's a look at what happened again, this contact.
All it takes is just a little bit of a tap in the left rear. Jeff almost saved it. Almost saved it, but he couldn't quite make it.
Now from the in-car camera, watch Larry Pearson's car just get by above him. Watch from the in-car camera.
Hey, Ned, he was driving that thing sideways, wasn't he?
Tony Urey and company now changing tires. You see the Mike McLaughlin car just above him there, the 34 car. And speaking of the 34 car, now at the top of the show, we showed you a sign on the back of that car, number 34, from Mike Mooney, their PR director for French's, who was sitting back in his apartment in Charlotte, Benny, with his girlfriend, Krista.
And Mike, what did Krista say? It said, "Krista, will you marry me?" And Mike Mooney, what'd she say?
Benny, it was a overwhelming yes.
It was. Well, congratulations.
Thank you. Thanks very much. I'll tell you, I think I was a little more nervous than some of the drivers out there tonight getting ready for this.
Was she surprised?
Very much so.
Well, Mike, watch the race and then celebrate.
I think I will. Hopefully McLaughlin can steer clear of some of that traffic I've been hearing about, and we can bring him up front.
Hey, we'll see you down in Darlington. Congratulations again from all of us at ESPN.
Great. Thanks a lot, guys.
Under caution for the third time today, lap 73 of 250. Johnny Benson, our point leader, is also our race leader at Bristol, Tennessee.
There's something I want to ask you.
Yes?
Hey! Huge sale at your local Southern Ford dealer. The model year-end clearance sale. Making room for 96s with great deals on 95s. Like cashback or low APR on Ford Ranger. $1,000 cashback on Windstar. Even great deals on Explorer. Hey! Gotta take the plunge.
Heard about the sale at your local Southern Ford dealer?
Hey!
You will.
It's our 20th year anniversary celebration only at Harbison Swanston RV. Harbison Swanston RV, Central Florida's #1 RV dealer in motorhomes, fifth wheels, travel trailers, sales, parts, and service. Save thousands now on all 95 models like Winnebago, Coachman, and Fleetwood. We have the largest selection. 2 locations, Holiday, Clearwater, Florida on US 19. We'll see you at Harbison Swanston RV. Customer satisfaction guaranteed.
Burning rubber has never smelled better than when ESPN puts your face in the race with continuing coverage of the 1995 NASCAR Winston Cup Series. ESPN is right on track with all the action when the checkers fly at Goodies 500, live from Bristol, Tennessee, tomorrow at 7:30. Feel the speed on ESPN.
Well, we went green to lap lap and a half ago, and we're a caution again. Here's what happened in the back straightaway. The car number 92, you see the caution flag waving. And Kyle Petty, when the restart occurred, the 8 car didn't come up to speed again.
I don't know what happened to him on the restart as far as not coming up to speed. The NASCAR official was in some serious conversation with their crew chief down here. That's 2 accidents, the 64 and the 3, that he was either in the wrong place at the wrong time or putting the bumper to the wrong person at the wrong time. They've given him a warning. They reviewed the tapes. They said, okay, the 3 and the deal with the 3 car might have been both of them's fault, but now he's got in his own little trouble here. So, hey, what goes around comes around sometimes.
Wow, look at the damage to the rear of that car, Ned.
Yeah, a lot of damage done there. As you can see, the tire is rubbing against the fenders, so a lot of... And I think what happened here, his car was not up to speed, and Larry Pearson came up behind him and tapped him. Larry got tapped, I believe, from behind as well, and so around they went down to the inside retaining wall.
Something happened to the 8 car to Kenny Wallace as he came off the corner. It's like the car just quit running.
He was trying to get out of the way, but Larry was coming off of there so fast, and it was sort of a chain reaction bumping situation behind him.
And there's Larry Pearson, and he was the victim there. He had started back in 19th spot, and he was up in 8th position in less than 70 laps, and Larry, the only multi-winner here in the field tonight. Now, Kenny Wallace is standing by with John Kernan.
Just climbing out of the car, a lot of smoke coming out there. Kenny, obviously the frame's bent. What happened to you?
Well, what happened is something wrong with the carburetor, and on the restarts it would miss real bad. And I stayed on the bottom down the straightaways, and it wouldn't clear out. They just got into me, you know. Bad deal.
Yeah, very bad deal. You're obviously not going to get this car back out there tonight, are you?
No, we're not running for points. We only run about 14 races a year, but man, it was aggravating. The car was so good, but something wrong with the carburetor on the restarts. Just, it wouldn't go. So, night's over.
Oh, well, that's racing is what they say. Look at this. As you can see, the line all the way back from the front tire back to here, and it's pushed out, oh, at least, what, about 3 inches? Look at that. Oh, and that's he hit with some force, didn't he?
He did that. Yeah.
He said he wasn't. Yeah, he wasn't running for points, but unfortunately Larry Pearson was, guys, and he was in 6th spot in point standings, and there is the Stanley Pool driver, Larry Pearson. Let's go to Bill Weber.
And Larry Pearson has just walked back here to the garage. Larry, I know you're disappointed. What happened out there?
Kenny Wallace had a lot of problems out there, and he was Terry checked up, and somebody got into me, and I bumped into him, and I guess he felt like I hit him, you know, on purpose, and knocked him up the racetrack, and he's got me back here. I was just, you know, we're out here running for points, and Winston Cup guys over out here just for the hell of it. It's always something stupid like that.
Larry Pearson not very happy, 6th in points, and wanted some more tonight. Not going to happen at Bristol.
And he had come all the way from 18th spot to 8th position and was making a run for his 3rd victory at Bristol. Not going to happen. We'll be back in a moment.
Got a car, but need an engine? Then come to Pep Boys, where you'll find a huge selection of over 1,200 quality engines for your car or light truck for as low as $699.99. Import or domestic, all have a 12-month unlimited mileage warranty. And you can charge it with your Pep Boys credit card and pay as little as $35 a month. So come to Pep Boys and drive away happy.
Start Suzuki Dual Sport 650, 350, 250, and 125. No other line has a wider range.
You want to know how to choose a motor oil? Take a ride to your local garage and see what the mechanic puts into his own car. Fact is, of all the brands of motor oil, more ASE certified master technicians choose Valvoline for use in their own cars and trucks. So before you buy a motor oil for your car, know the one more top mechanics put into theirs. Valvoline, the #1 choice of America's top mechanics.
Charlie, will you hold me in your arms forever?
Sure, dumpling face. As long as forever starts after Mike Tirico, Joe Theismann, and Sterling Sharp do ESPN's NFL Prime Monday.
You're so romantic, Charlie.
Back at Bristol International Raceway, just in time. Remember, in Busch racing, the lead lap cars restart on the inside as opposed to the outside as they do in Winston Cup. Johnny Benson running side by side with Jimmy Spencer, who lost a couple laps in the shot of an overheating problem. Spencer, 2 laps down, but he's second on the track behind Benson.
And he was trying his best to get one of those laps back, but it did not work.
Benson is so fast here tonight. Once he got out front, it's been hard for anyone to keep up with.
Never see Johnny Benson directly in front of our Fina in-car camera, on-board camera, I should say. That was a shot from the top of the car. There's the second place. 7 car Stevie Reeves. This has got to be the best run that he's had in Busch Grand National Racing. In front of Ed Whitaker's hometown people, and got to be exciting. But David Green don't care about that. He wants to get in front of him.
And he's been working on it. David's a nice guy. He's not going to rough him up.
Well, they ran 2 laps and no one crashed, so all the people sit down in the grandstand, Ned.
Yeah, they thought it was a good time to take a little break. Because these grandstands here at Bristol, you can sit out and see everything that's going on anyway.
That's right.
Because you're high above the track.
Yeah, but don't get too comfortable. Remember, it is Bristol, Tennessee. There is the 47 car. Remember, he spun early. And here's the 90 car, Mike Wallace, all over Jason Keller.
4th and 5th.
That 47 car is going to work you there off the corner, David. Just be aware of it.
Tells David Green that the 47 car is behind him. That's the spotter, I assume.
And the 47 car is 1 lap down, being shown in the 22nd position at the moment. 21 car is on the lead lap.
That's Terry Labonte right side of your screen, and Terry being shown. This is 4th, 5th, and 6th place car, and Terry in 6th position.
Now, he's one of those guys that knows how to exercise patience.
And Terry Labonte will start on the front row, the outside pole, tomorrow night's Finish 500, right? Mark Martin on the pole and Terry Labonte on the outside.
Brand new track record Mark Martin set.
Terry Labonte set a new event record, and Mark Martin, toward the end, one of the last cars to qualify, set a new track record. And the former winner, remember back here in the spring, he started back in 17th spot. Tonight he started 28th, but he is slowly but surely at lap 90. He's being shown in the top 10. And remember back in the spring, guys, he won pitting in the backstretch.
That's where he's going to be pitting tonight, too.
Yeah, he's pitting back there tonight, but that's an impressive run on this racetrack coming from that far back. However, a few wrecks have taken out some of those up there, but he's passed a lot of cars as well.
And Chad Little, we got to give a call to Chad because he stopped, changed 4 tires, started at the very rear of the pack, and now he's up in 9th place.
Started 5th. Got back to 15th spot after that pit stop on lap 52. Had an equalized tire, they thought, now being shown back up in the 9th position.
I believe Chad has a pretty good car now.
And Bristol looks down on tries to get on the inside of Tim Fiedler. That's Fiedler in the 55 directly in front. Meanwhile, Mike Wallace, a Duron car, looking on the inside of Jason Keller.
That's 4th and 5th and 6th. 14th car in 6th place. 57 is 4th. 90 is 5th. Once again, this battle between Grissom and Little.
More of a battle between Grissom and Fiedler right now.
Fiedler with the Dynamark sponsorship on the car number 55 this week.
We showed you the 23 car had come back toward the top 15 after that pit stop. John, what's the current status on Chad Little?
Well, they feel the car is pretty good. They came in here, Jerry, hoping to springboard the last portion of this season here at Bristol. They brought back the same car that Chad finished 3rd with here back in April. And Gary Cogswell told me before the race, he said, hey, we qualified 5th. We're back up front qualifying where we need to be. Now we just need to finish up front and start picking up some points on that 74 car.
Strategy for Chad Little, trying to be able to try to break that physical string of bad luck from Indianapolis Raceway Park, and then a 21st place finish in Michigan last week cost him even more points in the championship race with Johnny Benson.
You can tell Buckshot's a rookie because he don't know you can't pass on the outside now.
Nobody told him.
Nobody told him.
I put Rick McPherson will let him know that.
Yeah, crew chief on that car. This is Jeff Green's Food City car, Food City camper. On the rear bumper, looking back at Mike McLaughlin in the French's car, and right behind him is Buckshot Jones in the 00, the Longhorn Stakes car.
Yeah, we saw Jeff Green spin out a little bit earlier, but he's still in the lead lap. He's being shown in the 13th position at the moment.
And there's the Goodrich Chevrolet Monte Carlo for Jeff Green. Right behind the veteran Tommy Houston. And we got a few supermarkets racing tonight. We got Piggly Wiggly, Harris Teeter, Food City.
Food Country.
Your kind of night, Benny.
I'm telling you.
147 laps to go out of 250. And they rubbed and swapped some sheet metals again.
Little rub between Jeff Green and Joe Bessie that Bell South sponsorship on Joe Bessie's car.
Now, Joe's a lap down. He's being shown in the 23rd position.
And here's the leader, Johnny Benson. That's how close he gets to that mess in front of him. Boy, he is pulling away big time.
Yes, he is. There's no one even close behind Johnny Benson. As a matter of fact, he's got pretty clean racetrack in front of him. Let's find. There's the second place car of Stevie Reeves.
No, the Slim Jim. Well, let's see.
Slim Jim car is right now in third place. And he's about a half corner behind, a half straightaway behind Stevie Reeves.
Yeah. Okay. They got scattered out pretty good. They were running together there not long ago. But...
Now there is our defending national champion, David Green, Slim Jim Chevrolet, back in third position. Started second, currently being shown in third spot. And how about that car? It was running better, but now it's sort of settled into a position. John Kernan, how about it?
Well, Jerry, you notice he's dropped back. He's losing distance to Stevie Reeves. That's because the car has gotten very loose. In fact, most of the guys down here on pit road are complaining of a loose condition, which we figured would happen with the tires wearing out. The only guy not complaining about a loose car, Johnny Benson Jr. He says his car is getting a little bit tighter.
Oh, we got a spin down the front straightaway. And Mike McLaughlin. You're right. We needed to show that thing in front because the tail timeless said, Crystal, will you marry me? Had just been knocked on.
It's a good thing you got an answer early.
Yeah.
Mike McLaughlin's French's Chevrolet heavy impact. His car spins, gets tagged from behind and from the side. Dennis Setzer also involved in the uniform machine. Boy, heavy damage on that car.
Here's Buckshot Jones in the 00. As they come off turn 4, Buckshot tries to get under. See, Mike goes up the racetrack a little bit, and Buckshot tries to take advantage, but Mike closes the hole, contact, and around he goes, and he goes up. Not too much damage right there, but as he comes off, boom.
Elton Sawyer right there. Kaboom. But Elton had nowhere to go.
And we see the crash going on behind them between Dennis Setzer and...
Joe Bessie was involved in the 9 car.
It looks like, is that Tommy Houston? And all the cars right now, the leaders are on pit road.
Caution flag again for the 5th time. A little bit different angle.
As we said, pit stops are going on, and there all the cars are in the pits. There we see David Green, Chad Little, and here comes Mike Wallace down pit road.
I wonder if he just changed 2 tires maybe, or he made a good pit stop, whatever it was. And you can see they're changing 4 tires on Benson's
and the
car.
74 car still sitting. I'm sorry, that was the 44 still sitting there.
And the back pit's action getting there is Buckshot Jones in the back pit. Tracy Leslie in the car number 72, Detroit gasket car. Hermie Sadler leaving. Steve Grissom, Kevin LePage in the car number 71. So we'll sort it out after the pit stops, and caution being shown for the 5th time tonight here at Bristol International Raceway. A wild scramble here. We'll be back in a moment.
You want to know how to choose a motor oil? Take a ride to your local garage and see what the mechanic puts into his own car. Fact is, of all the brands of motor oil, more ASE certified master technicians choose Valvoline for use in their own cars and trucks. So before you buy a motor oil for your car, know the one more top mechanics put into theirs. Valvoline, the #1 choice of America's top mechanics.
What a sandwich!
Taco Bell introduces the Texas Taco Sandwich. Starting at 99 cents. It's a taste so big, it ought to be outlawed.
Yummy.
You can compare the Suzuki RF to a lot of things. Another motorcycle isn't one of them.
Speedwalk coverage of the Food City 250 is being brought to you by Allied Signals Fram Filters. You can pay a little now or a lot later. By Smooth Busch Beer and easy drinking Busch Light. Busch, the official beer of NASCAR. And by the more than 1,000 AutoZone stores across America. AutoZone, the best parts in auto parts. Thank you very much. We love you, too. Thanks for coming out and enjoying exciting short track action under caution for the 5th time, and here's why.
Well, the 34 car of Mike McLaughlin went up a little bit, and as Benny said, he came back down. Buckshot Jones thought he had a run on him. They touch, coming off of the 4th turn down the front straightaway, and of course, McLaughlin spins around. Here comes Elton Sawyer, and then behind him, a lot of other cars got involved as well.
Well, we had pit stop. Let's check in and see exactly what all happened down there, John Kernan.
Well, in Johnny Benson's case, they took on 4 tires, no chassis adjustment, but let me show you something. This is the catch can, the overflow. And remember last week in Michigan showed you Ricky Rudd's, the probe wasn't long enough to open it up, which meant the gas couldn't flow into the fuel cell. Well, look at this. The probe actually broke off. Let me turn it around here. You can see where the probe pushed through. Steve Bird says he thinks that they got enough gas in the car to make it the rest of the way, but they are measuring everything very carefully right now. Kyle Petty.
Well, as you look over my shoulder, Stevie Reeves is back in the pits again for the 2nd time. He had a horrendous pit stop. He come in running 2nd, I think. They had some trouble with the right rear. They had some trouble with the left rear. While all this was going on and he was having such a terrible pit stop, the 90 car changed 2 tires. Really, really smart move. It's been so hard to pass on this racetrack. We've seen it all night. Track position is critical here tonight. And these guys with the 90 car made a good decision, Bill Weber.
Kyle, Steve Grissom's in a familiar spot, pitting on the back stretch here at Bristol. He won from there in the spring. He just came in, got 4 tires, told his crew this car is good. We might be able to win this thing. A repeat similar to what we saw with Bobby Labonte last week in the Winston Cup Series. But here's another story developing back here. This is Hermie Sadler's pit. Hermie is very sick. They have been scrambling for a relief driver. Johnny Rumley, who is out of this race, is getting back in his suit. They're going to try and get him in the car. Here's a problem. Hermie's not very tall. Johnny Rumley is very tall and slender, so he might be the replacement, but he may not. And Hermie Sadler is also one of the drivers trying to turn things around back here.
Hey, Bill, you're not too tall, so maybe you could get in there. You got on the driving suit there.
I'll tell you, Ned, this is the perfect view right behind this wall where I can see them all go by. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, like in the military, you don't want to volunteer at Bristol International Raceway. This place can bite you in a hurry. Still working caution for the 5th time tonight, and Chad Little, who do not pit, is our leader. Back in a moment.
At AutoZone, most of our customers are the kind of people who like to work on their cars themselves. That way they save money, and they know the work's done right. Of course, when they come to AutoZone, they know they're going to find the right part for the right price. But sometimes, what they're looking for is just a little advice. And that's okay, because we don't put a price tag on it. You see, at AutoZone, we take pride in taking care of our customers. And we've learned that when you treat folks right, they keep coming back.
From Darlington to Talladega, through Daytona, Rockingham, and Watkins Glen. In every major NASCAR race, Busch Beer recognizes the pole winner with the Busch Pole Award. Because if there's one thing we know for sure, everyone follows the leader. Busch Beer, proud sponsor and official beer of NASCAR.
Hey, you know my crew spends hundreds of hours building those 5,000 horsepower motors. I can explode one in 5 seconds. And when that happens, nobody eats. That's why my guys won't run anything but Fram fillers. You know, Fram gets the nasty stuff out of the oil, so I can go to the other end with my candles lit. And you know, that's in about 5 seconds, nearly 300 miles an hour. You can look at these guys and see they eat pretty near every day.
Back to green flag racing action, 8-lap caution period. Coming back to green, lap 119. That's about a lap and a half ago. And the car number 23, the Harris Teeter Ford, is the leader. He did not pit. That was Chad Little, who pitted around lap 40 for original problem equalized tire. He stayed out, and thus he is the leader.
And the fact that he's running on older tires than some others, there are several drivers who've gotten back in the lead lap. Phil Parsons lost a lap in the pit during this latest caution flag, but right now he's running in front of the leader, so if he could get a caution, he'd be back in it. Phil had a good run going, was up there in the top 10. And also, Jimmy Spencer has gotten one of his 2 laps back, and Jeff Fuller is way out in front of the leaders there, so he's back in the lead lap.
23, north of 3, the one pitted. And that's, of course, allowed Jeff Fuller, as you said, to get back on the tail end of the lead lap. They're trying to hang on. And those guys would like to see a caution flag. There's Chad Little right behind the 99 car of Phil Parsons.
Meanwhile, there's a race going on right now between the 90 of Mike Wallace and the 74 of Johnny Benson. And Johnny Benson is going to try it on the outside again. No, ain't no way.
You heard Kyle Petty say that Mike Wallace changed 2 tires while Benson came in on the front stretch and changed 4, but Wallace was going after track position.
That's Roger Combs up on the
Now we've got a Buckshot Jones to spun down the front straightaway, and some contact with the inside retaining wall, and the NASCAR official is waiting for Buckshot to move.
I don't know if he's going to be able to. Well, yeah, he is.
Well,
yeah.
now they've waved the caution flag. Halfway, they had the halfway flags up, and he just peeled one off and said, I'll wave it, and we'll put the caution out for the 6th time.
And then all those cars got a lap back.
Yeah, Phil Parsons got a lap back. Jeff Fuller got back in the lead lap. Spencer got one of his back, so now he is only 1 lap down.
There's Buckshot Jones, and let's see what happened to him.
There he is. That's Tim Fiedel in the 55, the yellow car. Buckshot right in the middle of 00, and that's Kevin LePage in 71.
And Buckshot comes up, and boy, he was jammed. He was right in the middle there, and he might have hit the car in front of him just a little bit and had to back off, and then got hit from the rear, maybe.
I think the 71 ran right up front of the back bumper of that 00 car.
A little different angle this time.
Yeah.
Like he might have jammed the brakes on to try to keep him running in the back of Fiedel and got tagged from behind. Well, there she blows.
Yeah, that's Old Faithful. That's the overflow for the radiator, and we can see that it's running a little bit warm.
And apparently they've been waiting for a driver change in the backstretch. Hermie Sadler, we are told, is ill, is not feeling well, and they have Johnny Rumley standing by back there. And Bill Weber, what's the status? Is Hermie going to get out of the car?
Jerry, he has radioed to his crew that he is going to come in. They are going to make the change. Johnny Rumley is standing by, and now Hermie is just radioed back in saying he's all right, and they're going to take a look at things, and Hermie said we're going to be okay for right now. So Hermie Sadler is saying that he's apparently okay, and now there's some discussion as to whether or not he is going to come back in. Meanwhile, Jimmy Spencer is in all the way at the other end of pit road. He just took on 2 right side tires, and he's going to head back out. He has told his crew that he has a good car, not as good as the leader, and now here comes Hermie Sadler. They are going to make the change. Johnny Rumley standing by as Hermie Sadler breaks the DeWalt Chevrolet Monte Carlo down pit road. He is going to climb out. The window net is already down. They climb into the car. The wheel is off. Johnny Rumley is standing by. Hermie Sadler pulled out of the car. Johnny Rumley climbs in quickly. Hermie sits down on the wall, appears to be okay right now, taking off his gloves. Rumley is in. They put the wheel back on, go buckle him back in the car, and then they'll send it back out. Now, this is Hermie Sadler's parents' 32nd wedding anniversary today. He wanted to give them a real good present, guys, but this isn't what he had hoped for today. He's calmly sitting on the wall, and now he'll take over that role as car owner, and Johnny Rumley will handle the driving duties on the DeWalt Chevrolet.
And if you're wondering why they're so concerned about the difference in size and stature of those drivers, those seats fit like a glove, and you want to fit tightly and well here at Bristol International Raceway, or you'll get worn out in a hurry. Sadler out, and we're under caution. We'll be back in just a moment.
Alex Garrett's Lincoln Mercury Summer Clearance Sale. We've reduced prices on every new and pre-owned car for immediate sale. You can save up to $7,000 on a new car and purchase a pre-owned car for wholesale prices. Never again will you be able to save money like you can now at Alex Garrett's Lincoln Mercury. We're overstocked with cars and we need to move them out immediately. Don't miss out on this sale at Alex Garrett's Lincoln Mercury. We're located 2 miles north of the Sarasota-Braden Airport on U.S. Highway 41.
What does the new 89th Street Grill have to offer?
They have different varieties. I like the cinnamon sticks. Real good.
The food's good, and there's plenty of it.
The food's good, it's nice and clean, and lots of fun.
Good place to eat, and they have good video games and stuff.
And I like it.
Good price.
I like the games, and it's lots of fun.
Envy this Dodger Club and Piazzas.
Hey, you gents want to sign a petition? What's it for? We're trying to bring the Dodgers back to Brooklyn.
You gotta be kidding.
No. We got half the neighborhood signed up here. Look. Now, why would New York want another National League team?
We already got the Mets. Bartender, come here. Come sign this thing.
I got half the St. Mary's Convent there. I got the Bethel Jewish School. Everyone's signed.
I gotta call my relatives, have them come down here and sign this thing,
What
too.
for?
They don't know how to write.
We'll take extras. Anything you got.
Well, we're back. We were under green just for about a lap, and we're now under caution again for the 7th time tonight of the 133 laps to go. And here's the car number 20 dropping down off the racetrack. There was heavy contact as Jimmy Spencer was trying to get his lap back in the Fina Lance Ford Thunderbird. Chad Little was the leader, but here's what happened. We'll show you it all.
That's Spencer in the blue 20. He goes in, he takes over the spot, no problem. But here comes Jeff Green in the 3. He's trying to take the lead in the Goodrich Chevrolet. Makes contact with Chad Little. Around goes Chad. He goes on. Now watch the 44. David Green is going to get hit by the 57. He spins out, and I don't know how many other cars hit this deal.
A little different angle. We might have alluded to the fact that it was Spencer involved. He did not get involved. He made the pass, but it was the 3 and 23 that had the activity there. Jeff Green and Chad Little.
And you see Mike Wallace comes right on by. He takes the lead. Chad, I don't think he hit anything too hard up there, so he stayed in the lead lap. He got it fired, and he's coming down pit road right now.
See David Green's car back sideways, pointing in the opposite direction. The car number 20 now is back in the lead lap as you see David Green Slim Jim Chevy come down and get a tire change. Let's go to John Kernan.
Jerry, they'll change 4 tires, plus they're going to have to rip away some of that left rear fender, and doesn't look like any serious damage other than sheet metal damage. They'll come around to the left side now. Lug nuts coming off. They'll put on 2 fresh tires. There go the lug nuts here. Of course, you see no fuel. They should be good to go. Chad Little leaves pit road. Now David Green leaves pit road. Doesn't look like any serious damage. This sheet metal takes about 4 tires.
When he comes around.
Somebody said, see how bad that the left rear fender or quarter panel flaps as he goes around the racetrack.
That sounded like Bobby Labonte saying that. Of course, Bobby owns that Slim Jim Chevrolet. He might come back in just to have it pulled off.
And that's a real-time replay. You heard all.
On the pace car, Bob.
In-car camera now with Jeff Green. City roof cam showing that tap.
And obviously when Jimmy Spencer got by Chad Little, it slowed Chad just a little bit, and Green had a head of steam coming off the turn. As we'll see it here, just a slight tap as they hit off the turn, and around he goes.
It was a good call. It looks like Chad may have checked up to keep him running into the back of Spencer, going into one there a little bit, and that's all it took, as David Green was coming with a full head of steam. Now from the Phoenix car. Well, it's been a slugfest here in Bristol, Tennessee, but they're going to have some more boxing action coming your way from Atlantic City, New Jersey. Coming up next, hey, top-ranked boxing coming up at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Alex Zolkin takes on Everton Davis for the NABF Heavyweight Championship. 12-round bout coming up next from Bally's Park Place in Atlantic City, New Jersey. Back to green flag racing action, lap 139.
Mike Wallace is the leader in the Ford number 90. Johnny Benson is back up to second. There he goes on the inside of Tracy Leslie. Now Leslie's about 3 laps down.
There's our third place car, the 3 car of Jeff Green, and we see him bottoming out heavily down in the first corner. And now look at her, Steve Bristol started way back. Here he is in 4th place. Oh! And Tracy Leslie got sideways, about lost him. Want to say hello to Tracy Leslie's owner, Ron Parker. He's in the hospital up in Ann Arbor, Michigan, getting checked out. And we've got Bill Parsons. He did not hit anything.
And caution flag yet. And Parsons lucks there. Chevy gets the car righted.
And Bill had gotten back in the lead lap. As a matter of fact, he had moved up to 10th place. See what happens to him here. Runs in on some heavy cars, heavy traffic, gets tapped a little bit from the rear by Chad Little. That's another chain reaction type of a deal. And around he goes.
Action all over this racetrack. There's Johnny Benson trying to work on Mike Wallace. First and second, and no! Benson has to back out or he would have hooked Wallace. Would have had another spin. What about Johnny Benson, John Kernan? What's happening down there?
Jerry, remember I showed you that on the overflow can, the probe had broken off. Well, I've gotten the word from Steve Bird, 8.5 gallons of fuel into the fuel cell. The time they stopped, that last caution may have helped them out. It may have given them the needed mileage that they need to go to the finish. If not, they're going to be very, very close on fuel as Benson takes a look inside once again on Mike Wallace.
Man, we talked about patience and experience and fatigue. Well, fatigue has to go away because Mike Wallace was the guy that we thought was going to be tired, and he's leading this thing.
Well, he might be tired. He still has 105 laps to run.
Johnny Benson trying to be patient, but no, he makes it on the outside, and whoa, backs out of it.
Wisely backs out of it. Once again, he'll try again, but he's opening the door for Jeff Green.
16 cars on the lead lap.
Take a look at our AutoZone race recap. Mike Wallace is our leader, has led 13 of 145 laps. There have been 3 lead changes, 7 caution flags for 38 laps. The average speed, 74.685. Our leaders, 3 of them, C.B. Reeves, Johnny Benson, Chad Little, and Mike Wallace. The 4 cars, and Mike currently leading out of race, Doug Hevron, Rumley, Barrier, Bound, and Wilson. Also out of the race here, Patty Moise, Kenny Wallace, Robbie Reiser, Elton Sawyer, and Joe Pesci.
So we can see that the attrition has been high. And here comes Spencer on the inside of Stevie Reeves. And Stevie Reeves loses another spot to David Green.
Hey, Jimmy Spencer was 2 laps down and out of it, and now he is on the lead lap and just went into the top 10 in 10th position. Let's check in with Bill Weber.
Well, Mr. Excitement is earning his name here tonight. In fact, his crew has told him to calm down. Jimmy's very excited. Earlier, he said he had a good car. Maybe not a great one, but one that could get to the front. Now he has told his crew after that last caution, he can win this thing. Yeah, but he does have one problem, though. That car has been overheating. Twice they brought it in, put water in it, and sent it back out. But he's excited, and he thinks he's got a chance to visit victory lane tonight.
Now the red car right in front of the 20 car is the 9th place car. He's in 10th position. And that's the battle back up front, about a half a lap in front of Miss Benson. Once again, just working the rear of Mike Wallace.
Man, I can't believe he didn't crash there.
Yeah, he is really exercising patience. We've seen several drivers tonight that would have gotten into it. And here's a spin. And it's Spencer. Around he goes. No caution yet. He's moving. Here come the leaders. He's going to go a lap down. Ooh! Around the outside. So Jimmy's got to work all that time to get back in the lead lap. And spun her out.
And Mike Wallace, remember, he only changed 2 tires on that pit stop. trying to get track position. We'll watch the replay and see what happened to Spencer. There he is in the blue car, and a little bit of a nudge from David Green in 44.
Yep.
Now, meanwhile, the top 5 are single file, nose to tail. Mike Wallace, Johnny Benson, Jeff Green, Steve Grissom, and Tim Fedewa. As you saw that spin there by the car number 20 of Jimmy Spencer.
When that was happening, I was about to say that we've seen several moves tonight by some drivers that would get as far up alongside as Johnny Benson has alongside of Mike Wallace. They would have driven on in there. But Benson is really exercising his patience here tonight.
Benson not only trying to win the race, but we said at the top of the show, he's trying to win a championship. He is 62 points ahead of Chad Little, trying to possibly pick up another win and possibly a championship. Back with more from Bristol in a moment.
At AutoZone, most of our customers are the kind of people who like to work on their cars themselves. That way they save money, and they know the work's done right. Of course, when they come to AutoZone, they know they're going to find the right part for the right price. But sometimes, what they're looking for is just a little advice. And that's okay, because we don't put a price tag on it. You see, at AutoZone, we take pride in taking care of our customers, and we've learned that when you treat folks right, they keep coming back.
When traffic congestion changes, the threats to your car's engine change. That's why Quaker State has engineered intelligent oil. Oil that senses the changing threats in your engine and adapts its own molecular structure for continuous protection. So whenever the driving conditions change, so does Quaker State, the intelligent oil for longer engine life.
Now get up to $6.60 back by mail when you buy a case of Quaker State, or up to $2.75 back by mail when you buy 5 quarts.
Maybe you'll get a MasterCard so you can use one card for practically everything. Maybe you'll get one because no card is more accepted. Or maybe you just like to save 15% on that altimeter compass stopwatch. Presenting Master Values, immediate savings on all kinds of things. Because while MasterCard can make your life easier, saving around $1,000 on a Royal Caribbean cruise couldn't hurt. Look for your MasterCard invitation in the mail and apply today.
Got anything to eat?
What are you?
I'm Face. I think that we could use a snack. You need to relax. Come on over.
Hiya, Joe. You got anything to eat?
I got these Eagle snacks.
Eagle snacks. Eagle snacks. What you feed your face?
What a sandwich!
Taco Bell introduces the Texas Taco Sandwich. Starting at 99 cents. It's a taste so big, it ought to be outlawed.
Yummy.
Coming up later tonight, Speed Week, all the action of racing around the world. Fastest half hour in television. Bob Jenkins will be on hand to bring you Speed Week action, 12:30 a.m. Eastern Time, coming up tonight right here on ESPN. And talk about action here. We've got it all over the racetrack. And a moment ago, after working him and being very patient, here is Spencer once again showing you that close shot of the Fina front. Trying to get that lap back. He moves to the inside of the 3 car. And by the way, while we were in break, we do have a new leader. Johnny Benson makes a pass on Mike Wallace.
And now has driven away. As a matter of fact, Jerry, we speculated that he had a faster car, and here's how he did it. Got nose alongside, going into turn 3. They touched just a little bit, and Benson drives right on under him, under Mike Wallace, and takes the lead.
There is Benson, who started 3rd, currently our leader. Now Spencer has made a move underneath the 2nd place car of Wallace, and Wallace may lose 2nd spot to Steve Grissom in his Channel Lock Chevy.
Ooh, man, oh man. I thought Grissom had him that time, and we see some contact between those 2 cars.
He might have him this time. He has the preferred groove down on the inside. Mike can't do a whole lot about it. Here comes Jeff Green trying to get back down there. He got caught up on that outside, and he lost key position, so he's trying to return those favors.
So right now, the 29 car, Steve Grissom, the Channel Lock car, has moved in to 2nd place. There's their 3rd place car. The 90, the Duron car, Mike Wallace, and Jeff Green, the Goodrich Chevrolet, is 4th.
Larry Pearson has come back out on the track in the Stanley Chevrolet to try to make a few more laps and maybe hopefully pick up a few more points. Kyle, is he going to run more than a lap, or what's the situation on Pearson?
No, you heard Larry Pearson. He was a little upset with the Winston Cup drivers because he said he was racing for points. Those guys went back there, they put the car together. He came down pit road slow. You see him riding around. He wants to make up one lap. That'll pick up one position. It means nothing tonight. But come the end of the year, it might be $4,000 or $5,000. And everybody knows how big that is when you're racing for points.
And another of the top 5 in the point standing, Jason Keller's in the pit. Should be an unscheduled pit stop for him in the Budgie Gourmet car.
You can see some pretty heavy damage to the front of that car. I don't know if that just happened.
And a moment ago, the car number 90 and the 3 car came together. Mike Wallace and Jeff Green.
Meanwhile, the yellow number 55, Tim Fiedel, is the fifth place car. Now, the 72, the Detroit Gasky car, Tracy Leslie, is 3 laps down, I believe. Yes, 3 laps down. Third place, the 90 is third. That's Mike Wallace, and Jeff Green is fourth.
Mike Wallace won 3 Busch Series events a year ago. Is yet to win here in 1995. Jeff Green, who tagged him again, a little bit of a tap. Jeff Green still looking for his first win, driving for Teresa Earnhardt, over at Chevy. We showed you the field at Michigan a week ago. It speeds 185, 190 miles an hour. You don't want to touch at those speeds, but hey, what a different game tonight. Not a game, this is a war on the short tracks of Bristol, Tennessee.
Mike Wallace does a good job. He knows how to use that groove to his advantage.
Look at Chad Little in the 23 car. The Bayer car has joined this fight.
Chad's in 6th place now.
And the car number 3 completely sideways a moment ago. The car very loose and Green just looked like his car owner, Dale Earnhardt, just sort of gathered it back in very calmly.
And Chad Little just lost that 6th place to Terry Labonte, and David Green has gone by. And also Tommy Houston. Let's watch the 3 car of Jeff Green as he's coming off turn 4. Ooh, he does get sideways.
Crank that steering wheel hard right and then back left and then jump back in the gas and another day at the office. 70 laps to go here at Bristol International Raceway in the Food City 250. Now here's Tommy Houston. Tommy Houston is a short track competitor. Senior member of the Busch Tour, 50 years of age, from Hickory, North Carolina, the Red Devil Piggly Wiggly Ford. Same car he used at Indianapolis Raceway Park. I'm told that night, Ned Jarrett, Tommy Houston may have been one of the fastest cars up there in the last 10 laps when he came home into his pit.
He really was. He ran a great race up there and did have a very good car. Had a good car tonight, Steve. Brought in and started 32nd, now in 9th place. You saw him move over there a second ago and let Chad Little go by on the outside. He knows that Chad is really battling for those points. Tommy has no chance of winning the championship this year. And he also sees all that going on in front of him and say, hey, I might want to be as far behind that as I can get because something's fixing to happen.
There's Houston right in front of him, battle waging. Chad Little, David Green, Terry Labonte up there. Here's Tim Fiedel.
I don't think there's any doubt but what Mike Wallace is holding this whole pack of cars up. He has that 3rd position and he's trying to hang on to it.
And if Jeff Green gets alongside Mike Wallace right now, he'll probably go back to about 10th place. John Kernan?
Well, Benny, just in from the leader's pit. You see Johnny Benson driving his heart out, trying to get as big a lead as he can. That's because they think they may be short on fuel making that. Remember, I told you they only got 8.5 gallons in on that pit stop. If it goes green the rest of the way, they might be just a few laps short. Steve Bird just got the crew together. They had a big meeting here, put all their heads together. He said, listen, if we have to pit late in the race for a splash of fuel, I want all of you men, of course, it's 7 over the wall, behind the car, ready to push it just in case it stalls.
Boy, that's a tough position to be in, you know, sitting as fast as that race car is and have to worry about the fuel situation.
And here's the car number 23 who has been knocking on the door back there for the last 10 laps on the car number 44 of David Green. And with Benson possibly worried about fuel. This could change the point situation. Here's a move by Terry Labonte and David Green. They will both go underneath the 90 car of Mike Wallace.
And Chad Little.
Oh, man, way to be there.
Ooh, and Tommy Houston almost able to get the nose up there, but not quite.
That's David Green's radio that we were hearing.
You're in 6, that 14 car is fifth.
Less than 60 laps remaining here at Bristol International Raceway. In fact, 191 complete. Johnny Benson leads Steve Grissom, Jeff Green, Tim Petewa, and Terry Labonte in the top 5.
Now at Pep Boys, save $10 on one of our most powerful batteries, the Pro Start, just $39.99 after mail-in rebate. Get the power you need for only $39.99 at Pep Boys now.
Now at Pep Boys, get any 4 of our 35,000-mile all-season steel-belted tires at an incredible low $109. That's right, any 75 or 80 series, any 4, just $109 at Pep Boys now.
Splitfire earned a United States patent. Splitfire doesn't look like any other spark plug. And the patented Splitfire doesn't work like any other spark plug.
5 extra horsepower by merely installing these plugs. Quicker in the quarter mile. A 4.8% gain in mileage.
There's nothing like a Splitfire. You'll get more power and more mileage, or your money back. Get the guaranteed Splitfire advantage at leading automotive stores from coast to coast.
When traffic congestion changes, the threats to your car's engine change. That's why Quaker State has engineered intelligent oil. Oil that senses the changing threats in your engine and adapts its own molecular structure for continuous protection. So whenever the driving conditions change, so does Quaker State, the intelligent oil for longer engine life.
Now get up to $660 back by mail when you buy a case of Quaker State, or up to $275 back by mail when you buy 5 quarts.
Back at Bristol International Raceway, the 7 car was the pole sitter, Stevie Reeves' Clabber Girl car. Right now, he's just trying to hang on as Johnny Benson trying to make a move around him. He's trying to stay on the lead left right now as Benson is the leader in the car number 74.
And we'll see what kind of lead that Johnny Benson is going to have. There, the 74 car trying to get on the inside, and there is the 29 car. That's Steve Grissom. The Cadillac car is, in fact, the second place car.
Yeah, and I don't think he's losing any ground to Benson, Vinny. In fact, he might be picking up just a little bit because Benson got caught in that traffic there and sort of eased his way through it. But now Stevie Reeves, who was running in the 11th position, has gone a lap down. So now there are only 10 cars on the lead lap.
And here's the car number 90 who was leading a little bit ago. Remember, Kyle Petty told you they only changed 2 tires, and well, he has really slowed down, about to go a lap down to Johnny Benson.
Yeah, I think the chassis has gone away on the tires. It's gone away on Mike Wallace's Duron Paints car.
And this is really helping the 29 car of Steve Grissom, because these fellas want to fight the leader of the race because they can stay in the lead lap, and it doesn't matter. Once he passes him, they'll let the 29 car go by a little bit easier.
A little bit of flash coming out of the left side exhaust of the Channel Lock Chevy. About a straightaway difference. There is Benson going by the 10th place car of Mike Wallace. Wallace nearly spent it. Let's check the interval now between Benson, who was trying to work Mike Wallace, and the second place car of Bristol.
Interval is 2.2 seconds. The 74 and the 29.
1.5.
Now it's 1.5 seconds. They're telling
Benson.
There's the Liberty T Chevy.
They were telling one of them that the lead is now 1.5 seconds.
We'll check it again. That's the traffic as now Grissom 1.4. It was stable that time. Now Benson works the inside of Mike McLaughlin's car.
I think that's Steve Grissom's radio that we're listening to. His spotter told him he was clear when he got him on the outside.
Now in that fuel situation, right now Benson has no choice to just run until he runs out of gas. And he'll even tell when the fuel pressure gauge starts fluctuating, that means he'll have to go towards the pits and get some fuel. And if he can make it 250 laps, he'll win. I don't know if he will or not, because right now Steve Grissom seems to be coming, and some contact between Grissom and the 90.
Well, you don't want to bend a fender down a rubber tire.
And he's losing precious time right here as he tries to get around Mike Wallace. Now he gets on the inside of him. He'll make the pass now.
How about Steve Grissom's situation, Bill Weber?
Well, Jerry, you guys are absolutely right, as you can see on the clock. In fact, about 15 laps ago, they radioed to Steve that he was picking up a tenth of a second every lap. I just talked to his crew chief, Connie Morgan. They will not need fuel. They're good to go to the finish. One other thing, the car that they won here with in April was wrecked at Dover. This is their walk-in sprint car, but they tried to build it to the same specifications as the car they won with here in April. So far, so good.
I tell you, you've got to give a call to Tommy Morgan and that Channel Lock crew. He said they lost the car they ran so well with here back in the spring, and this car is their road racing car. But hey, when he shut the hood, he doesn't know where it is, so they just run it on the high banks. Take a look at the field summary where your favorite drivers are running.
He's probably had to turn right a couple of times tonight anyway.
I bet you.
To catch the back end anyway. There we see Kevin LePage. That is the last car on the lead lap right now.
Let's check in with John Kernan.
Jerry, not only is Johnny Benson having to think about the fuel mileage and whether or not he can make it, he's also got a handling problem right now. Just a lap ago, he radioed Steve Bird and said the car has picked up a major push.
Well, and Steve Grissom is changing. You can see it out there now that he's coming on.
Laps are winding down here at Bristol, Tennessee. 35 remain, as we'll see if possibly Johnny Benson can hang on. Find out when we come back. Stay with us.
When it comes to roping a steer, folks in Grand Junction, Colorado will tell you that Ron Markin can ride with the best of them. And when it comes to overhauling an engine or rebuilding a carburetor, well, he can do it all. You see, when Ron's not riding a horse for fun, he's turning a wrench for a living. So he buys a lot of parts, mostly from AutoZone. Sure, there are other parts stores in town, but Ron knows that when you want the right part for the right price, there's just no place better than AutoZone.
It's Racing Roundup.
Welcome, Phil Parsons, driver of the number 99 Luxair Chevrolet. Phil, are you getting comfortable with your new sponsor?
It's real comfortable here at home, but man, it's cold outside.
No, what about the deal?
Got a great deal on a new Luxair gas furnace. It's 92% efficient. That's performance.
Come on, Phil, how do you find Luxair to work with?
Easy. Just look in the yellow pages for your Luxair dealer, or call 1-800-LUXAIR.
Finest drivers in the world's fastest cars compete this Sunday at 7:50 Eastern in the Grand Prix of Belgium. Formula One, the art of motor racing, only on ESPN.
Track Packs are brought to you by Quaker State, the intelligent oil for longer engine life.
Hey, folks, check it out. Jason Keller comes into the pit stop, but no air hoses. They're changing the tires, but see the pack on the back of the right rear tire changer? That's a tank with compressed air. It's running the impact wrench. The tire goes off, tire goes on, he picks up the impact wrench, and no hoses to worry about. He's carrying the hose with him. Pretty neat deal, Ned.
That is a neat deal. That's the first time I've seen this in NASCAR racing.
It made a debut here tonight. As you see this battle up front, Grissom has run down Benson. You got to believe Benson maybe having tire going down. He's got some kind of problem in that car number 74, but Grissom is being very aggressive.
Well, they said that he picked up a major push. That could mean either of the front tires might be beaten down a little bit.
Saw Grissom started back in 28th position. He started 17th back here in April. Made one pit stop at lap 82 and came on to win it.
Mike Wallace finally brings his car to the pits. He just fought it as long as he could out there on those tires. Those left side tires have been on there a long time, Kyle.
Those left side tires have been on that car for 225 laps. We talked about Mike Wallach being fatigued before the race was over. His left side tires are definitely fatigued, guys.
And I expect the way he had to fight that thing that he might be able to lose tired right now, too.
That's the battle first and second. Benson and Grissom. We might mention that Jeff Green is third and Tim Beadle fourth with Terry Labonte in fifth spot.
And the leaders are almost a half a lap in front.
Oh, good job. Good job. Clear all the way around. Keep digging. Keep digging.
Something's wrong with Benson, isn't it? Is the right front tire flat?
He's coming in.
Now he comes down pit road. It's 25 miles an hour, and yes, it looks like the right front may be down. You get a good camera shot of the right front tire on the Lipton T Chevy, and he heads for the pits.
Johnny Benson pulls it in. It'll be right side tires. They had thought he had a right front tire going down. So the right side's going on now. They don't have to worry about fuel, but they've already lost the lap as we wait for Steve Grissom to come around. What a bad break for the point leader. A little bit of a problem on the 13.3 seconds, and the right front tire just a little bit flat. In fact, I'm going to check it out. I'll tell you what, Jerry, it looks like, yes, very, very much flat as you see the crew bouncing it up and down.
Oh, boy, that guy can't buy a break. He just, Johnny Benson has run so good in so many races and just can't get the break he needs.
Let's watch. Benson, as he goes down in the corner, and when that right front tire goes flat, he does a great job keeping that car out of the wall as he goes up towards the wall.
Should have had one in the bag. Had a great race car tonight. Now he's trying to swing off the lap down. Now, where is the guy chasing him in the points? There's the leader right there, Steve Grissom, the Channel Lock Chevy, being shown up front. Chad Little is back in seventh spot, as we have only 8 cars on the lead lap.
Never seen David Green go by there. Chad Little, Harry Cedar car.
And let's take a look at what cost probably Johnny Benson at least a top 2 or 3 finish, maybe even a win. John Kernan?
Well, Jerry, Steve Bird, the crew chief, just looked at. This is not what caused the tire to go flat. The tire, a small puncture, a slow air leak, it was going flat, and this is what happened. This is why Johnny Benson almost lost it going into turn 1. You can see on the inside, it's going all the way down to the tread, and this is why you can't stay out there very long with a tire going low. You have to come in, or if you stay out, if he'd have stayed out maybe a couple more laps, it would have blown. He would have been into the wall.
Yeah, he was lucky, John, that he caught that thing as quick as he did, and because you're right, he could have been in the wall and wouldn't have had any much of a finish here tonight.
There's Chad Little. He's being shown in the 5th position, and Johnny Benson now, after losing one lap, is back in the 14th spot.
They're creating with being 1 lap down. You're right.
Here's Tim Beadle in the car of 55. 3 cars in front of this battle, and Beadle was being shown what? Back in the 3rd spot.
3rd spot, having a good run here tonight. And here's your 2nd place car. Jeff Green, Bill Parsons there in car number 99. Bill is in the 12th position, 1 lap down.
Leaders Benson now 14th, starting 3rd. Little is up to 7th after starting 5th and had some problems. McLaughlin 26th, 21st. Keller back in the pack. Jeff Green stands to gain some ground, possibly being shown in 2nd position.
Jeff Green. Right now, the Busch Grand National NASCAR Busch Points seems to be a 2-car battle between Chad Little and Johnny Benson. Jeff Green, Mike McLaughlin, and others. Jason Keller has a long way to go to catch up. But this guy can win the thing, and he will gain some points tonight if things continue on the way they're going now.
And there are less than 10 laps to go.
Car up, Johnny Benson just driving by cars that are in the 3rd spot, but with those fresh right side tires, his car clearly faster than any other cars on the racetrack.
And the car slips just a little bit, coming out of the turn.
This is third, fourth, and fifth that we're watching here between Fiedel and the car number 55, Terry Labonte, and number 14, and the 23 car of Chad Little. So they got a little race under themselves.
Chad Little knows every spot he can gain. That's points in this championship race. 6 events remain. This is the 20th race in a 26-race season, $7.5 million tour.
And right now, this is about the only battle on the racetrack because Steve Grissom and the 3 car of Jeff Green are running.
Hey, what's this, Benny? Is the NASCAR officials checking out your...
Yeah, they're checking out
backpack?
the air packs.
Huh.
Let's go down to John. Kyle, what's going on down there?
Let me tell you guys something. ESPN is so far ahead of the curve on this one. NASCAR had to watch it on TV to get a good look at it. They had a couple of their officials over here looking at it. They're not too happy about this, guys. Benny, you might have got somebody in a little bit of trouble here, buddy.
Uh-oh. Here's Chad Little taking a position. That's 4 points. That's 5 more points he got around Terry Labonte.
And 3 laps to go, 44 and 6 in a battle out there. That is 6th and 7th. Those are the last 2 cars on the lead lap. Now remember, Grissom is our leader. Steve Grissom in the car number 29. We're showing you battle all in the lead lap. The 44 car of David Green in 6th spot. Hey, Tommy Houston, the veteran, back in 7th in the car number 6 as they go around the Hermie Sadler car with Johnny Rumley driving in substitution for Hermie Sadler still.
That car now is in 19th position.
Jason Keller in the 52nd car. We saw him make the unscheduled pit stop.
White flag. Good, go ahead, Jerry. White flag is out. Jason Keller is 2 laps down in 16th position.
Final lap for Steve Grissom in the Channel Lock Chevrolet.
Grissom would become the only Busch driver ever to do the Bristol double. Only driver ever to win back-to-back.
Hey, how about that, boys? Hey! Man, you man! Hey, Gary, come on, man. Gary Beckler, we done this for Charlotte now. Done it for you, man.
Let's go to Bill Weber.
And I'm here with Tommy Morgan, and you can see the crew's already heading to Victory Lane, but we're standing here on pit road. You're the only guy left. Congratulations.
Thank you. I gave the credit to the whole Diamond Ridge Motorsport team, Chevrolet, Channel Lock, the good Lord, and AC and everybody else I missed. I'm sorry.
How about that driver? He did a heck of a job. He had a couple.
Plus Steve, he is a hell of a driver. He does anything he can do with that car. It worked out perfect tonight.
And Steve Grissom wins back-to-back wins at Bristol for the Channel Lock Chevrolet.
And you heard him talking about Carolyn and talking about Carolyn Bechtel, who is the wife of the car owner, Gary Bechtel. We'll come back and talk to the winner after this.
When traffic congestion changes, the threats to your car's engine change. That's why Quaker State has engineered intelligent oil. Oil that senses the changing threats in your engine and adapts its own molecular structure for continuous protection. So whenever the driving conditions change, so does Quaker State, the intelligent oil for longer engine life.
Now get up to $6.60 back by mail when you buy a case of Quaker State, or up to $2.75 back by mail when you buy 5 quarts.
The heat is on! The heat is on now at your local Mercury dealer during the Mercury Clearance Countdown with hot deals on some of the year's best cars, like Mercury Villager, the minivan that drives like a car, with front-wheel drive, standard V6 engine, standard 4-wheel ABS, and fingertip flexible seating. Plus, now you can get a new Villager with a great low lease rate. So come in now while the deals are hot during the Mercury Clearance Countdown at your local Mercury dealer. The heat is...
No, we don't sell tents during our tent sale.
Announcing Sarasota Nissan Jeep Eagle's annual automotive tent sale.
We have acres of new and used cars and trucks at sacrifice prices.
0 down, instant financing.
New 95 Sentras loaded from $12,222. New 95 Ultimas loaded for $14,499. New 95 Maximas loaded only $18,999.
New 95 Nissan pickups loaded from $10,449.
Even Jeeps and Eagles are on sale. Shop the automotive tent sale on Bee Ridge Road, Sarasota Nissan Jeep Eagle, 923-1411.
You think?
This is going to be really terrific here. I'll tell you something. Miami has a chance to win everything.
Super Bowl?
They got a chance to win it all.
And
well, can the Niners retreat?
Yeah.
Can Dallas pick up ground?
Yeah.
Will the AFC have a shot in the Super Bowl?
No.
And Steve Grissom climbs out, and we'll listen. Let's go down to John Kernan. John?
Hey, Steve, I think that little cold shower there probably felt pretty good, didn't it?
Yeah, it did. I tell you, I'd like to have it again, man. I tell you, my hat's off to this crew. It's pretty amazing. Before we qualified after our last practice, these guys on the channel lock team changed 4 shocks, a couple springs, sway bar, moved some lead around, and the car was pretty awesome tonight.
Now, this was not the same car that you won with back in the spring, but it looks like you guys found out something about Bristol.
That's true. It's not the same car, but the guys put the same thing back in the car. And I tell you, our car owners were, Carolyn was here with us in the spring, and Gary's here with us this time. So it was pretty neat to win one for Gary and Channel Lock. I tell you, this people are super. They've supported us and been with us now for a while, and nothing like winning it. I don't care, wins and win.
Hey, I tell you what, how does this get you ready for tomorrow night, huh?
Well, it sure can't hurt us. I tell you, the guys had good pit stops tonight and all, and you know, kind of found out what the track does from the daytime to the nighttime, and that'll definitely help us for tomorrow night.
All right, well, congratulations, Steve. Celebrate the victory. Now let's go to the second place finisher, Jeff Green, who's standing by with Kyle Petty.
Well, I'm standing here at the gas pump. They filled his car up with gas, take it through inspection. Jeff's filling up with Gatorade right here. But you had a great run. Hey, it's hard to believe that you can run that car here at Bristol and not get any more dents or scratches than that. I've never seen the 3 car look that good after a race. I mean, you got into one little scrape down there in 1 and 2 with Chad when he cut back across in front of you a little bit. But other than that, it was a pretty decent deal for you.
It was. Tony and these guys, they worked their tail off this afternoon to get this car working right. Still a little loose at first, and we come in, got in with Kenny there, got spun out, but that paid off for us. Got in, got some tires, got it tightened up, and that gave us track position. So, Good Ranch and Food City, they sponsored this race here tonight. I was really wanting to win it for them tonight, but our day's coming.
It's definitely coming. I can tell you that. Dale Earnhardt wouldn't have put him in the seat if he didn't think so. Bill Weber?
Okay, I'm here with Chad Little. What a wild night you had out there, but you still came home fourth.
I am just wore out, you know. I don't know how the Cup guys can go 500 laps here, I swear. You know, I'm young, too. I'm just wore out. We had a decent day. We had to work hard, and you know, we had a little mishap at the start of the race there, and then right rear tire equalized, and then we had to change it, and that got us behind, and then, you know, I got spun out and got on the wall a little bit. So we just kept coming back, and you know, it was a really great day for Harris Teeter and Bear, and especially the guys on the team worked really hard for this, and I mean, this shows it is a good team. I want to say hi to Greg and Mark. They're back home, and Tracy, and I mean, I'm happy. I'm just really tired right now.
Yeah, but if I go over there and find you a ride for tomorrow, you'll probably be happy to go 500 laps.
Well, you got to let me know here before I go home, because if you don't, I might be busy by the pool tomorrow.
Okay, that's Chad Little.
Chad Little able to sacrifice or basically come home in a top 5 finish, finishes 4th. Hey, remember, Top Rank Boxing coming up next from Atlantic City, New Jersey. We'll come back and recap this slugfest in a moment.
When traffic congestion changes, the threats to your car's engine change. That's why Quaker State has engineered intelligent oil. Oil that senses the changing threats in your engine and adapts its own molecular structure for continuous protection. So whenever the driving conditions change, so does Quaker State, the intelligent oil for longer engine life.
Now, get up to $6.60 back by mail when you buy a case of Quaker State, or up to $2.75 back by mail when you buy 5 quarts.
Now at Pep Boys, save $10 on one of our most powerful batteries, the Pro Start, just $39.99 after mail-in rebate. Get the power you need for only $39.99 at Pep Boys now.
What a sandwich!
Taco Bell introduces the Texas Taco Sandwich, starting at 99 cents. It's a taste so big, it ought to be outlawed.
Yummy.
Our Speed World coverage of the Food City 250 has been brought to you by Pep Boys. For quality parts, accessories, and service, come to Pep Boys, America's automotive supercenter. By Quaker State, the intelligent oil for longer engine life. And by Taco Bell, tacos, burritos, nachos, and a whole lot more. Take a look at our post-race recap. Our winner, Steve Grissom, led 23 of 250 laps. There were 5 lead changes, 7 caution flags for a total of 38 laps, and the average speed, 87.234 miles per hour. Some post-race notes for you. Take a look. Johnny Benson led the most laps, but folks, that trouble late in the race cost him a good finish. He will finish in 12th position. Steve Grissom made a big move, 32nd to 28th. Jeff Fuller, highest finishing rookie in 10th, and 11th win for Chevy this season. Let's check in with the guy who finished in 3rd spot.
A great run for Tim Fedewa in 3rd, and you know you can always tell a budding young superstar by his entourage, and boy, you got quite an entourage behind you, Tim Fedewa.
Yeah, we got all the Dynamark Security Center people here. It's their first ride with us in the 55 car, and we're happy to have them with us. They're going to be with us a couple more times this year, and you know, it was a good run for the whole DR team. We had a good car all day, and we knew it, but we didn't think we had a winning car, but it just kept chugging along, and had good tire, good pit stop, and real happy for us, you know. Little Joe's Autos and Race Can, Ford really run good today.
Do you have any really close calls out there tonight?
Yeah, we had a couple, you know. I think everybody here that raced tonight had a couple close calls. This is Bristol, but, you know, like I said, you either have a good day or a bad day here, and we had a good day finally.
Hey, we even had some close calls down here in the pits. Let me tell you about that. Now, let's go hear from Johnny Benson, the points leader, who's standing by with Bill Weber.
And he came home 12th. He lost 33 points to Chad tonight. You're ahead by 29. Your reflections on this fun evening here at Bristol?
Well, it's pretty exciting anyways. Lifting Team Monte Carlo, I'll tell you what, I don't think there's anything here that could have beat it, but one of them deals, I just got ran a little high, coming off 2, and got a flat.
And then you did have the tire going down, and obviously fuel was going to be a question for you down the stretch.
Well, I don't know. We could have made it on the fuel. We had to pro brake on overfill cam, but we got enough gas in, I believe, and you know, like I say, Base Motorsports team did a good job. There ain't anybody going to touch us, but one of them deals, and I knew it. I mean, I could feel it starting to get a bad push. I says, man, that can't be happening. We can't be having the tire go down, and sure enough, it did. But we kept it off the wall, so 12th, I guess, is better than wrecking it.
Okay, Johnny Benson comes home 12th. He's still the Busch Series Grand National Division points leader, guys.
And he could have lost a lot more. Remember, Speed Week coming up later tonight, 12:30 a.m. Eastern Time. We'll have all the action with Bob Jenkins. That's the fastest half hour in television. When we come back, we'll look at the full field rundown, as well as the updated Busch Grand National Series point standings. Johnny Benson still leads, but by a scant 29 points.
We're back on the road with 1-800-COLLECT. We're in Kentucky and the Big Bear for the Sawyer Brown concert. Let's hit the phones.
You ready?
Hi there.
Hi.
What's your name?
Renee.
So who are you going to call?
My best friend, Marjorie.
You ever use 1-800-COLLECT before?
No, I haven't.
Well, I got somebody who can help.
Oh, my gosh, it's Mark Miller.
I'm here to help you call your boyfriend. Just pick up the phone. Use these. Dial 1-800-COLLECT. 1-800-COLLECT. Hey, it's very easy. It's easy. Just dial it.
If you don't replace your air and oil filters regularly, you might as well drive your car off a cliff, because dirt can really mess up an engine. Fram Extra Life air filters and Fram Extra Guard oil filters keep out dirt best to protect your engine. Fram, America's #1 premium brand. Pay a little now or a lot later.
Buy any 2 Fram filters and get your favorite officially licensed NFL team cap for $1.99.
Back at Bristol International Raceway, the Food City 250 is history. Steve Grissom has picked up his second win of the 1995 season, sweeping the Bristol High Banks. Jeff Green finishes second. Tim Fedewa and Chad Little lead the Ford contingent in 3rd and 4th, and Terry Labonte finishes 5th, rounding out the top 5. David Green is in 6th spot. Tommy Houston from 32nd starting spot. Good run for the 50-year-old Hickory native in 7th. Kevin LePage from 17th spot in 8th. Jimmy Spencer coming from 2 laps down. Boy, what a run he had tonight, finishing in 9th. And Jeff Fuller, leading rookie contender, finishes 10th.
Bobby Dotter, Johnny Benson salvages a 12th place. Phil Parsons, Stevie Reeves, our pole sitter, finishes 14th. And Rocking Rodney Combs, after the damage that he had, finishes 15th.
16th through 20th, Jason Keller, after having to make a green flag pit stop, lost a couple of laps. Mike Wallace also made a green flag pit stop, finishes 17th. Tracy Leslie, 18th. Hermie Sadler's car comes home 19th with Johnny Rumley at the wheel, and Brad Teague came home in 20th.
21 through 25, Mike McLaughlin, Randy LaJoy, Buckshot Jones, Joe Bessie, and Dennis Setzer finishes 25th.
Now we'll go back 26 through 30 when we find Elton Sawyer. He and Mike McLaughlin met here at the start-finish line. Robbie Reiser, Curtis Markham, Larry Pearson, we saw his crash, and also Kenny Wallace finishes 30th.
And 31st through 35th, Patty Moise, Rick Wilson, Jim Bowen, Ed Barrier, and Johnny Rumley.
And rounding out the field, 36, Doug Hebron, who broke that ankle a week ago in practice up at Michigan. Doug able to make it home in 36th spot. Now, we promised you we'd look at the point standings, and we will, but meanwhile, here's a guy who had a good run tonight standing by with John Kernan.
Hey, he finished 5th, but in the Winston Cup race for tomorrow night, the Goodies 500 starting on the outside of the front row with Terry Labonte, and you look really fresh for a guy who's been at it since, what, the wee morning hours?
This morning. It's been a long day, but I'll tell you what, our MW1 Chevrolet ran pretty good tonight. We're a little bit too tight there, and I guess we wore out the front tires at the end of the race there, but it was still a good run for us, and I'm looking forward to tomorrow night.
Yeah, I thought you had the pole there until Mark knocked you off, huh?
Well, you know, we were the first car out there, and I didn't know if that was going to be good or not. Sometimes the track gets a little bit quicker. I knew Mark was going to be tough. Him and I were about the two fastest in practice there, and, you know, he got us, but that's the way it goes.
All right, well, go get some rest. Congratulations on a good finish tonight, Terry.
Thank you.
All right, Terry Labonte, let's go to Bill.
Okay, and I'm here with David Green, who came home 6th. A good run for you, a wild night as well.
Yeah, Bill, it was good to finish one, you know, and we were sitting real good and had a chain reaction over here and got turned around, so we had to go to the back. But, you know, Beecher there at the shop finally got us some engines going. Terry's got one, and I've got one that he's worked on a little bit, and we took that gear out of it like we talked and might have went a little too far, but my car was really good, and it's good to finish one again. But we were okay, but you know how Bristol is. You get one little inch out of shape, and I got rear-ended a little bit, but it was a good night.
Obviously, you guys are looking for some momentum. You really want to salvage the season here.
Just about anything, you know, and you know, the way qualifying went, I was really disappointed. I'm glad for Stevie and Ed Whitaker and all that whole bunch, but about my luck, you know, Stevie pulled off a heck of a lap, and I can't even win the pole no more. So, but it's a good night, and Bristol's tough, and, you know, we just are gradually getting back on this V8 thing. You know, it requires a little bit different setup, and I'm not sharp enough yet to tell them what I need, but we're working on it.
David Green comes home 6th. Let's go to Kyle Petty.
Well, I'm sitting here with Mike McLaughlin. They used you for a ping pong ball out there 2 or 3 times. Like you said, you missed a couple of wrecks, but that 00 car, we watched you from pit road, and he had you sideways 4 or 5 laps before that, before he ever turned you all the way around.
Yeah, it's a tough racetrack. You need patience, and some people just don't have patience, and you can get in trouble in a big hurry, and that's what happened to us.
Well, that's why I tell you what, that happened a lot tonight, and I'm sure it's going to happen a lot tomorrow. John Kernan?
Well, I'm standing by with the 7th-place finisher, Tommy Houston, the last car in the lead lap. Tommy, I tell you what, Benny's all the time talking about the old guys running well, and you had a really good run tonight.
Yeah, it's pretty good, especially starting 32nd in the field. And, you know, I was just patient, come on up through there and kind of riding along with Terry Labonte and David Green, some of those guys. And, you know, at Red Devil Ford Thunderbird, he come out there pretty good. So it was fast, just got pushing real bad. I think everybody did.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right. That's a 7th-place finish for Tommy Houston, Jerry.
Good one for Tommy. And for the old guys. Let's hear it for the old guys. Now let's take a look at the point standings. Johnny Benson just 29 points over Chad Little. Hey, Jeff Green makes a big jump from 5th to 3rd. Considering that runner-up finish tonight, Mike McLaughlin is in there at 4th spot, and Jason Keller loses a couple of spots by virtue of his finish tonight. He's currently in 5th spot.
Let's go 6 through 10. Larry Pearson, Tim Fedewa, Bobby Dotter, Elton Sawyer, and Jeff Fuller moves up to the 10th spot.
Top 10 in points after 20 events. Of course, there are 6 races left in Busch Series competition, including the Gatorade 200 coming up next week at Darlington, and we will be there. But how about racing's lineup coming up later, tomorrow, I should say. 11 a.m. Eastern Time, NASCAR today. And, of course, NASCAR today at 7 p.m. Eastern Time on ESPN2. And then live flag-to-flag coverage of the Goodies 500 from right here at Bristol International Raceway. Mark Martin, how about what a brand-new qualifying record, track record. He will start alongside Terry Labonte.
By the way, now, that's not the same show. That's 2 entire different shows tomorrow. One at 11 o'clock and another new show at 7 o'clock.
And don't forget, coming up next from Bally's Park Place in Atlantic City, New Jersey, the NABA Heavyweight Championship. Alex Salkin takes on Everton Davis. Top-ranked boxing. We had a bruising battle here on the high banks at Bristol International Raceway. And folks, tomorrow night, over 70,000 people will jam these stands. They will start coming here later tonight. The campers are already outside. The stands are going to be filled. We had a great crowd tonight, but you ain't seen nothing yet, as they say here in Bristol, Tennessee, because Thunder Valley is going to be alive with Winston Cup racing action tomorrow night. And Mark Martin Sport Thunderbird and Terry Labonte Chevrolet will lead the charge down from the first row. Once again, For Bill Weber, Kyle Petty, John Kernan, Ned Jarrett, and Benny Parsons, I'm Jerry Pudge, congratulating Steve Grissom on pulling off the Bristol Double. He won both events on the high banks at Bristol International Raceway. Congratulations to that man right there, 1993 Busch Series champion, Steve Grissom. He is our winner here tonight. So long, everyone, from Bristol, Tennessee.